Hey kids, it's Papa. You ready to explore the Bible? All right. Well, once again, we have another sad story. This happens in Numbers chapter 20. Numbers chapter 20. Look it up. Notice it says in verse 1, Then came the children of Israel, even the whole congregation, unto the desert of Zin. In the first month, the people abode in Kadesh, and Miriam died there and was buried there, and there was no water for the congregation. And they gathered themselves together against Moses and against Aaron. And the people chode with Moses, saying, Would God that we had died when our brethren died before the Lord. We were talking about Korah and the rebels that had followed him. What have you brought up this congregation of the Lord into this wilderness that we and our cattle should die there? Well, listen, they didn't learn from the past, did they? And here they are going on about, you brought us up here to... What they should have done was they should have gone to Moses and said, you know what? God has met all of our needs. Every step of the way, he's met our needs. He's gone before us. And now we have a definite need of water. And so if you would, talk to God. We know that he's going to supply the water. We are just going to wait and see what he does because we know we can trust him. That's what they should have done. But they didn't. Instead, they went to more drama. Instead of following truth, they followed drama. Well, so what happened? Moses went to God, and God said, okay, last time this happened, remember this very same thing happened. Remember I told you to go and take that long staff of yours and to go to that big rock and whack it? And remember, the rock was a picture of Jesus, and Jesus was smitten once, and he gave life, okay? But now, the second time, we're going to do it a little bit differently. He said, I want you, instead of taking that long staff, I want you to go get the rod from the Ark of the Covenant, Aaron's rod, with his authority, and I want you to take that, and I want you to call all the children of Israel, because last time it was just the elders, but this time I want you to bring all the children of Israel and remind them, show them that rod, and then I want you to speak to the rock. There was another big rock there. He said, I want you to speak to the rock, and it will give water. Now, this was a beautiful picture of how that Jesus Christ was smitten once and gave life. But now we come to the rock and we ask for life, and he gives us life. What a beautiful picture of salvation. You know, Jesus Christ was smitten, but now we come to him and we ask for salvation, and he gives us an abundance of life. But we find that Moses was kind of not listening, and he got angry, and instead he he went and he got that rod, and he noticed in verse 10, and Moses and Aaron gathered the congregation before the rock, and he said to them, Hear now, ye rebels, must we fetch you water out of the rock? And Moses lifted up his hand, and with the rod he smote the rock twice. And the water came out abundantly, and the congregation drank, and their beasts also. And the Lord spoke unto Moses and Aaron, Because ye believed me not, to sanctify me in the eyes of the children of Israel, therefore ye shall not bring this congregation into the land which I have given them. Now, I want you to see what happened. God was trying to give a beautiful picture of salvation, but instead, because of his anger, Moses went and hit the rock with that rod, and he shouldn't have, because he ruined the picture that God was trying to paint for the children of Israel. Well, there was a high price to pay, because he ruined a picture of what God was trying to do. Now, this is a very important thing for us to understand. Do you realize that you are a picture of salvation to the unsaved? You are an example. You are the light of this world. And when you received Jesus Christ as your Savior, and when you asked him to save you, and he saved you, you became the light to this very dark world. And as such, you have a responsibility to obey God and to be like Jesus Christ to this dark, dark world. Now, Moses couldn't bring the children of Israel into the land of Canaan. And this was a terrible price to pay for his anger, for his disobedience, for his lack of faith, but he had to pay it. Another sad, sad story. Please understand that you are the light of this world. God has sent us to be the light, and as such, we have a responsibility to the unsaved. Hey, love you guys. See you later. Bye-bye.